The child's hand trembled as he pressed the fruit into Marcus Chen's palm. Security alarms screamed through the docking station. Cathriel guards materialized from the shadows, their crystalline armor refracting the station's emergency lights into 1,000 blood-red shards. Marcus froze, the small purple fruit warm against his skin, knowing that accepting food from a Cathriel child violated 17 separate protocols. The boy couldn't have been more than 6 cycles old, his translucent skin already showing the faint luminescence that marked his royal bloodline. Behind him, through the viewing port, the dying world of Kethra hung like a bruised eye in space. The lead guard's weapon hummed to life, but he didn't raise it. Captain Vaisha approached instead, her movements measured, each footfall deliberate. Marcus had negotiated with the Kethriel for 3 months, trying to secure passage rights through their sector. He'd learned to read their silences. This one promised consequences. "The child offers his last meal to a human," Vaisha said, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent dock. "Explain." Marcus looked down at the boy. Tears tracked down the child's face, leaving glowing trails on his cheeks. "He doesn't understand," Marcus began, but the child squeezed his hand tighter. "I understand," the boy whispered in halting standard. "You helped Dr. Felmix yesterday. You gave her your water. All of it." Marcus had given his entire ration to the Kethriel physician when he'd found her collapsed in Corridor 7. It had seemed like the obvious thing to do. She'd been treating the refugees flooding in from Kethra's dying agricultural zones. "The boy's name is Telrine," Vaisha continued. "Prince Telrin, third in line to the Crystal Throne. Do you know what it means when royalty offers their last sustenance?" Marcus shook his head. The fruit in his hand pulsed with warmth, and he realized it was still alive, still growing. Kethrian fruit only did that when connected to soil rich with their world's unique minerals that were running out. "It means he claims you as kin," Vaisha said. "It means he binds his fate to yours. It means you just became responsible for a prince's life." The implications hit Marcus like a physical blow. The Kethriel took kinship bonds seriously. Wars had started over lesser claims. "I can't accept," he said, trying to hand the fruit back. Telrin's eyes widened with fear. "Please," the boy begged. "Mama said humans keep their promises. You promised Dr. Felmix you'd find more water." "You did. I heard you arguing with your captain. You gave your ship's emergency reserves." Behind Marcus, his crew shifted nervously. They'd been furious when he'd made that call. The lunar compass operated on razor-thin margins. Those reserves represented their safety net for 3 years of trading runs. "Your Highness," Marcus knelt to the child's level, "this fruit, it's precious. Your people need it more than I do. It won't grow anymore," Telrin said. "Our soil is dying. Mama says in 2 cycles, nothing will grow. This fruit will die with me unless it finds new purpose. Unless someone worthy receives it." Vaisha's hand moved to her weapon again, but her fingers merely rested on its grip. "The Queen Mother has been watching, human. She watched you give your water. She watched you trade your ship's medicine stores for passage vouchers for refugees. She watched you stand between her people and a Drexian merchant who tried to triple prices on food shipments." Marcus hadn't thought anyone important was watching. He'd just been doing what needed doing. The Kethriel were dying. Their sun had entered an unstable phase, cooking their planet from within. The agricultural zones were collapsing. Millions needed evacuation, but the Galactic Council moved at bureaucratic speed while people starved. "The Queen Mother has made a decision," Vaisha announced, and every guard in the docking bay went perfectly still. "She will see you. Now." Marcus glanced at his crew. His first officer, Sarah Kim, gave a tiny nod. They'd known this mission might end badly. Running supplies to blockaded worlds didn't win friends in high places. "What about the fruit?" Marcus asked. "Eat it," Telrin urged. "Please. It's my gift. It's all I have to give." Marcus looked into the boy's desperate eyes and understood. This wasn't about the fruit. This was about dignity. About a child who had nothing left wanting to give something that mattered. Marcus raised the fruit to his lips and bit down. The taste exploded across his tongue. Sweetness layered with something electric, alive. Energy flooded through him, and for a moment he saw the world as the Kethriel did, the intricate patterns of life force flowing through every living thing, the connections binding person to person, the vast web of interdependence that made civilization possible. Telrin smiled, a genuine expression of joy that lit his features from within. Then he collapsed. Marcus caught the boy as guards rushed forward. Telrin's skin had gone transparent, his life force dimmed to almost nothing. "What happened?" Marcus demanded. "He gave you everything," Vaisha said quietly, and for the first time Marcus heard emotion in her voice. The fruit was keeping him alive. His immune system collapsed 3 days ago. He was dying. Now the fruit will keep you alive instead, and he has perhaps an hour. No, Marcus cradled the boy. Take it back. I don't want it. Save him. It doesn't work that way, Vaisha said. The gift is given. The bond is formed. Only one question remains. What will you do with what he gave you? The Queen Mother's summons suddenly made terrible sense. This wasn't about trade negotiations. This was about witnessing something that would define humanity's relationship with the Kethriel for generations. A dying child had trusted a human with his last gift. The Queen Mother would judge not just Marcus but his entire species by what happened next. Marcus stood, still holding Telrin. Take me to your queen, he said, and get me every human doctor on the station. Now. Walls curved and flowed like living crystal, pulsing with the collected life force of billions of Kethriel across centuries. The Queen Mother sat not on a throne but within one, her body partially merged with the crystalline structure, making her appear both ancient and eternal. Her skin held the deep luminescence of someone who'd lived 1,000 years. Her eyes, when they fixed on Marcus, saw through him. You hold my grandson, she said. No preamble, no greeting. Just fact. He's dying because of me, Marcus replied. Tell me how to save him. Apparently humans didn't speak so directly to queens. The Queen Mother's expression didn't change. You cannot save him with your medicine, she said. His body is rejecting itself. It's a genetic cascade we've seen in many children since the sun's change began. The environmental toxins have rewritten their cellular structure. They die by inches and we have no cure. Then why did you summon me? Because in 3 months you have done more for my people than the Galactic Council has done in 3 years. Because I watched you trade everything you had to help strangers. Because I must know. Why? Marcus looked down at Telrin. The boy's breathing had grown shallow. Because it was right, Marcus said. Because people were suffering and I could help. Because that's what humans do, or what we're supposed to do. Other humans have come here, the Queen Mother said. They saw opportunity, they saw profit. They saw a dying race with valuable technology and made their calculations. You saw people? Why? I lost my daughter, Marcus said quietly. The words still hurt, even 5 years later. Disease. Something we couldn't cure, couldn't even slow. I spent every credit I had, called in every favor. Nothing worked. The day she died, she gave me her favorite book. She said someone should get joy from it. She was 9 years old, and she was thinking about what she could give. He paused, remembering. Tellerin reminded me of her. That kind of courage, that kind of heart. The Queen Mother was silent for a long moment. Then she rose from her throne, and the entire court gasped. Apparently she hadn't stood in years. She approached Marcus, moving with careful dignity. You speak truth, she said. I feel it in your words. My grandson's gift is wasted on you if you die of this knowledge alone. Listen carefully, human. I am going to tell you something no outsider has ever learned. Our planet is dying, but our species need not. Our geneticists have traced the cascade. The toxins don't just kill, they mark. They mark which children have the strongest connection to life force, which would have been our next generation of leaders, of scientists, of artists. The plague is killing our best and brightest. Marcus felt something shift in his understanding. That's not random. No. Someone engineered this. Someone studied our biology and crafted a weapon that targets potential. We discovered this 3 weeks ago. We have said nothing because we have no proof, no suspects, and no allies. The Galactic Council has members who would celebrate our extinction, the Queen Mother interrupted. We control 3 major trade routes. Our technology has made us wealthy. Our neutrality in political conflicts has made us enemies on all sides. A species doesn't simply die, Captain Chen. It is allowed to die. Sometimes it is helped along. The implications were staggering. This was genocide, deliberate and calculated. Why tell me this? Because my grandson's gift comes with a burden. The fruit you ate contains our genetic memory, our cultural essence, our history. It will change you, make you part Kethriel in ways even we don't fully understand. You will live for centuries. You will see connections others cannot. You will dream our dreams. She paused. And you will become the witness to our end, or the architect of our survival. Tellerin chose you. I choose to trust his choice. Marcus understood the weight settling on his shoulders. This wasn't just about one child anymore. What do you need? An ocean, the Queen Mother said. And forests, somewhere we can rebuild. Somewhere far from our enemies and the Council's politics. Somewhere we can heal our children and raise new generations. My people number 3 billion. We need a world. That the Council will find and claim the moment we settle. That the Council will find and claim the moment we settle. That pirates will raid. That our enemies will poison again. We need more than land, Captain Chen. We need secrecy. We need time. We need someone the galaxy doesn't watch, doesn't fear, doesn't expect to matter. We need humans. Marcus's mind raced. Humanity controlled dozens of frontier worlds, barely surveyed, barely mapped. The United Earth government was too focused on internal politics to care about most of them. But hiding 3 billion refugees? That's impossible. Even if we found a world, the logistics alone, you need food production for billions, medical facilities for the sick, housing, infrastructure, defense against whoever did this. He stopped. You need an entire civilization's worth of resources. Yes, and you want humanity to provide this because we're too small for anyone to notice, too unimportant to threaten anyone, too poor to make anyone suspicious. Correct. And because you already said yes when my grandson looked at you with hope. She was right. The moment he'd accepted that fruit, he'd accepted everything that came with it. Telrine stirred in his arms, and Marcus made his decision. I need communications access, he said. Full spectrum, unmonitored, and I need it now. The Queen Mother gestured. A terminal rose from the floor, crystalline and organic. It's yours. Marcus laid Telrin gently on a cushioned platform and approached the terminal. His hands moved across the interface, adapting quickly to the alien design. He pulled up communication channels he'd sworn never to use again. What are you doing? The Queen Mother asked. Calling in favors from people who don't do favors. Activating networks that aren't supposed to exist. And probably ending my career. He looked back at her. You want an ocean? I know a man who terraforms planets the Council doesn't know about. You want forests? I know a botanist who's been growing Earth vegetation in Kelvin-negative temperatures for 40 years. You want secrecy? I know smugglers who've moved entire colonies past Council checkpoints, and they'll help because I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse. Earth's frontier worlds are dying for skilled labor. Your people have technology we've never seen. You have knowledge of genetics, of life force manipulation, of sustainable living that we desperately need. This isn't charity, Your Majesty. This is the deal of the millennium. The Queen Mother's eyes gleamed. You're proposing a merger. I'm proposing survival for both our species. You get your ocean and forests. We get teachers, scientists, and 3 billion people who know how to build a civilization that lasts. Everyone wins except whoever tried to kill you. And when they discover we didn't die, Marcus smiled grimly. Then they'll find out what happens when you make humanity angry. We're very good at holding grudges. The first response came within minutes. Jackson Moore, terraformer and certified lunatic, appeared on the screen. Marcus Chen, you bastard. I thought you were dead.
Not yet. I need a planet.
Don't we all? Ocean forests, habitable within 6 months, and it needs to stay hidden from the Galactic Council for at least a decade. Jackson whistled. That's a tall order. What's the pay? The kind that makes crops grow in any condition, the kind that could turn your ice worlds into gardens. Silence. Then, how many people are we hiding? 3 billion. You always did think big. I know a place. System 7743, third planet. It's listed as uninhabitable, but that's because the survey team was incompetent. Give me 3 months and I'll have your ocean. 6 months for forests, but it'll cost. Name it. 10 years of catherial expertise, full technology transfer. And my team gets priority settlement rights. She nodded. Done, Marcus said. The next call went to Dr. Sarah Okonkwo, whose botanical engineering had been deemed too radical for Earth. She cried when she heard about the Cathriel forests, promised a seed vault within weeks. The third call reached a smuggler named Cade, who owed Marcus his life. Cady promised ships, routes, and absolute silence. One by one, the pieces fell into place. Humans who'd been pushed to the fringes, deemed too strange or too ambitious or too dangerous, now offered their talents for a chance to matter. Each conversation revealed the same theme. Earth had dreamers, but no resources. Kethriel had resources, but no time. Together, They might manage something impossible. Telrin gasped, pulling Marcus from the terminal. The boy's skin had gone almost transparent. Marcus knelt beside him, taking his small hand. "Did it work?" Selrin whispered. "You tell me," Marcus said. "You're the one who started this." "Was I worth your gift?" "You're trying to save everyone, even me. You were worth it." "Then hold on," Marcus urged, "'cause I'm about to save you properly." He turned to the Queen Mother. "Your geneticists. Get them here, now. And I need a full scan of Telrin's genetic structure." "Why?" "I can feel it, the connection to life force you described. If it's in me now, then maybe I can give some back. Maybe we can reverse the cascade or at least slow it." The Queen Mother's expression shifted to something like hope. "That's never been attempted. Good. Then no one can tell me it won't work." Within the hour, Kethriel geneticists surrounded them, their instruments humming. Marcus lay beside Telrin, hands clasped as they mapped the connections forming between human and Kethriel biology. What they found astonished everyone. The fruit hadn't just given Marcus longevity, it had created a bridge, a living connection between his cells and Telrin's. The boy's dying immune system was trying to feed off Marcus's human robustness. The process was killing them both, but slowly, incompletely. "If we can stabilize the bridge," the lead geneticist said, "if we can create a true symbiosis rather than a parasitic drain, the human's unaffected genetics might provide a template. The boy's cells might learn to function differently, might bypass the cascade entirely." "Will," Marcus corrected. "It will work because it has to." Begin. The procedure took 6 hours. They flooded both Marcus and Telrin with synthesized proteins, guided the cellular connections, reinforced the bridge until it glowed with stable energy. Marcus felt his body changing, adapting, becoming something neither fully human nor fully Kethriel. The pain was extraordinary. He didn't care. When it ended, Telrin's skin held color again. His breathing steadied. The geneticists ran scan after scan, disbelieving their own results. "The cascade is reversing," one whispered. "Impossible, but it's reversing." Telrin opened his eyes and looked at Marcus. "You feel different," the boy said. "You feel like family." "I am family," Marcus said. You made sure of that." The Queen Mother approached, her expression unreadable. Then she knelt, placing her forehead against Marcus's in the traditional gesture of deepest respect. "You have given my grandson life. You have given my people hope. Name your price, Captain Chen. Anything in my power is yours." Marcus thought about his ship, his crew, his debts. He thought about everything he'd lost and everything he'd just gained. "I don't want payment," he said. "I want partnership." Real partnership. Human and Kethriel, building something new together. No debts. No obligations. Just two species helping each other survive. "You're certain? We could make you wealthy beyond measure." "I'm certain. Wealth doesn't matter. This matters." He gestured to Telrin, to the geneticists still marveling at their data, to the future taking shape in this room. "This is what humans are supposed to do. This is what we're good at when we're at our best. We survive together or we don't survive at all." The Queen Mother straightened, and her voice carried the weight of absolute authority. "Then let it be recorded. On this day, humanity and the Kethriel Empire forge a new alliance. Captain Marcus Chen is named Kin Guardian, voice of the Crystal Throne among humans, and bearer of the Prince's gift. All Kethriel will honor him as they honor their own blood. All humans who aid us will be granted the same." The court erupted in a harmonic sound, thousands of voices blending in approval. Marcus felt the sound resonating in his chest, in his bones, in the fruit's gift now woven through his cells. Over the next months, the impossible became real. Jackson's team terraformed System 7743 ahead of schedule, creating oceans that sparkled with earth minerals and Kethriel life force in equal measure. Okonkwo's forests grew at unprecedented rates, fed by Kethriel agricultural science and human stubbornness. Cade's smuggling network moved 3 billion people in the greatest covert operation in galactic history. The Galactic Council noticed nothing. They were too busy arguing about trade disputes and territorial claims. They didn't see Earth's frontier worlds suddenly bloom with new life. They didn't notice human ships carrying unusual cargo. They didn't recognize the Kethriel refugees integrated into human colonies as teachers, engineers, and friends. By the time anyone suspected, it was too late. Humanity and the Kethriel had become inseparable. Mixed settlements dotted a dozen worlds. Hybrid technologies revolutionized both species. The genetic cascade that had plagued Cathriel children found its cure in human-Cathriel collaboration, and now those children grew strong and healthy. Telrin grew too. At 12 cycles, he stood beside Marcus on the bridge of a new ship, the Unified Dawn, watching their 7th joint colony take shape on a planet they'd named Hope's Reach. "Do you ever regret it?" Telrin asked. "Giving up your old life?" Marcus smiled. "Every day I wake up and do something impossible. I'm grateful you handed me that fruit. You gave me purpose, Telrin. You gave me family. You gave humanity a chance to be better than we were." "We gave each other everything," Telrin said. "That's what family does." On the view screen, forests stretched toward horizons where oceans met alien skies. Human children played with Cathriel children in gardens that grew food from 2 worlds. Scientists from both species worked side by side, pushing boundaries, solving problems, dreaming bigger dreams. The Queen Mother appeared beside them, her hologram transmitted from the new Crystal Palace on System 7743. "The Council is finally asking questions," she said. "They want to know where my people went. They want to know why Earth suddenly matters." "What will you tell them?" Marcus asked. "The truth. That a child gave a human his last fruit, and that human gave us an ocean and forests in return. That humanity proved itself worthy of the gift." She paused. "And that anyone who threatens either of our peoples will learn what happens when you attack a family." Marcus thought about the genetic cascade that had targeted Cathriel children. They still had no proof of who'd designed it, but they had suspicions. Investigations continued. When they found the culprits, there would be reckoning. But that was tomorrow's war. Today was for building. Today was for growing. Today was for 2 species learning to trust each other, to need each other, to become something greater than either had been alone. Telrin's hand found Marcus's shoulder. The gesture was pure trust, pure affection. "Thank you," the boy said, "for not wasting my gift." Marcus pulled him close. "Thank you for seeing something in humans worth saving, for believing we could be better, for giving me a reason to prove you right." Outside, the sun set on Hope's Reach, painting the sky in colors neither species had words for. In the forests, trees from Earth and Cathriel grew intertwined, their roots sharing soil. In the ocean, life multiplied, adapted, thrived. And in the darkness between stars, humanity and the Cathriel stood together, ready for whatever came next. Because a child had given everything to a stranger, and that stranger had given everything in return. Because sometimes the smallest gift carries the weight of worlds. Because sometimes hope is a fruit pressed into trembling hands and love is an ocean given freely. Because humanity, at its best, doesn't calculate the cost of kindness. It simply acts, and the universe changes.